Hello, this is Garner Dupuis with Possibility Wave, and here we are having a good look at the Emotional Insight app and the process called Creative Imagery. This is where you explore the subconscious mind for insights leading directly to understandings and action strategies for any action focused on a problem that you have, your current issue. This is Creative Imagery. So you can see here the screen you may have recognized from before. The creative imagery is the one in the center. And in my opinion, this is, of the three, the best one to choose if you're brand new to the app. It's not mandatory, but the creative imagery has enough structure that it helps processes that otherwise might be a little bit new for you or something that you've not had much practice doing. The creative imagery looks just beneath that calm surface of water to see what's right underneath the surface, but not exactly easily seen unless you go looking. It starts off with an encouragement to listen to these brain entrainment tones. It's a relaxation process, but more than that, it coaxes the mind over towards that area that is more easily connected with visions and imagination, helping the imagery process as you move along. When you're ready, just press the green start button. Nothing to do but listen. Using your headphones, breathe, simply listen. Let your mind be coaxed effortlessly by the brain entrainment tones. Here you can see that red circle. If for any reason you need to make an adjustment on the volume of either the spoken voice guide, assuming that you're using that, you can always turn it off, remember, and its combination with the brain entrainment tones. So make sure you hear the voice clearly and that the brain entrainment tones do their thing a little bit more in the background. It doesn't have to be a loud volume to have a good effect. Automatically, the eye field assessment process will kick in. This is a sensitive assessment technique. It evaluates a very wide variety of emotional states. We're looking for significance. We're looking for clues, ways of helping you in a mirror-like process have a look at things you normally don't see. Well, here you see that 3 clues have emerged. I've created a session here with a fictitious character, Betty Jones. And here is sympathy, joviality, and hopelessness. So have a look at all 3 of these. When you're ready to continue, press the start button. Here we're going to use the voice analysis, the voice scan, and we're going to ask you to speak each of the 3 clues, one after the other with a pause. Don't have to speak in any special way, just let it be normal for you. Speak each one and let the voice scan do what it does. Do your best to speak a little bit in the direction of the microphone of your device. That'll be helpful. When you're ready, press start. You'll see the dynamics of your voice pattern, different frequencies, notes, tones, and so on. When you're finished speaking, press done. If you want to re-record, feel free, use the brown button. If not, the green finish button. Okay, now, one of the most profound assessment techniques of all, what we could call your intuition, by whatever name. Look at these 3 and choose the one that feels special, not the one that necessarily creates ideas that you think are important. It's just going to somehow stand out. It's almost as though it chooses you. Go ahead, call it a gut feeling or your intuition or higher self or whatever. When you've chosen one, tap on it. It'll turn to brown, as you see, and then you've got the next, through the next button. Okay, exploring your subconscious. This is the beginning of the experience of imagery. Remember, everything here is coming from you. We just give some structure. When you're ready, press the green start button. Yeah, follow the directions. It's pretty clear. Here you're asked to choose a room, left or right. Tap the one, press the next button. And there are a series of prompts. You can read them on screen or you can hear the spoken voice guide. I won't bother describing each one of them. But the idea is follow the process and respond to the questions. Here, the painting is entitled Hopelessness. That's what Betty would have chosen as feeling special of the 3 clues. When you're ready, press next. The fictitious character Betty Jones says, oh, the painting, instantly she sees her mother doing the laundry for her dominating grandmother. I made a typo there, so that's why this sentence appears twice. Don't let it concern you. When you're ready to proceed, next. What you'll find is that your subconscious is populated with a number of people. Here, Betty's asked that there's a face in the painting. What face? She responds, my father. You know, you'll see, it just comes. It just comes. Just follow the structure of the imagery and respond honestly. Be careful to not edit or critic yourself into being frozen. Whatever comes is fine. Keep going. This is connect the dot. This is the way of accessing the subconscious mind for important insights and guidance to help you in relation to your current issue. Follow the prompts. This person in the painting has something to tell you. What do they tell you? And you can see here she says sometimes you get stuck in a situation and feel trapped with no way out. Follow the prompts. It's really easy, and yet at the same time a very, very important access into information that is sometimes critically helpful. Follow the prompts. In this case, if someone sits next to you in front of the painting, who is it? Betty says, oh, it's my sister. And what you find is that each person, in a sense, has a different voice, a different aspect of your own beliefs, your own experiences. And by having them spoken through others that you choose, it's amazing. It's as though you get to speak to yourself through somebody else. Once again, the person, in this case, the sister, is asked something. As she says, you know, at this painting, there's something that reminds me of you. You know, here Betty finds that, oh, because I identify with my mother too much without understanding my father. When you're ready to continue, it's next. This is a great process because it gives you a lot of structure that is relatable and yet dynamic at the same time. So you'll be meeting kind of these people in your head through the imagery presented by the painting, and you choose the theme of the painting, you choose who you see, you choose what they say, and yet somehow it also seems to be coming from another source, actually quite a trusted source. Call it your inner self or higher self or your inner teacher or whatever. When you're ready, press next. And you'll see here that it keeps opening. The subject keeps on getting richer and more clear. Details come forward that you may never have considered, and yet they're consistent with what you feel to be true. At this point, step 14 of 17, there are 3 messages that have come forward, and you can review them. Just scroll up or down on that frame. You can see it there with the blue arrow. And after reviewing it, sort of reflecting on how these messages might help you to better understand your current issue, press Start. And what you'll see here is that brain entrainment processes kick in, that they help to allow you to shift into a deeper and yet clearer reflection on your own intuition and wisdom. Rest in it for 30 seconds. Let your mind respond to the entrainment tones. When it's finished, automatically the screen comes up and says, now is the time to make a statement, to form an action strategy. This is simple. The idea of a practical set of attitudes and behaviors, they will present themselves in your heart-mind. This relates to the current issue that you express at the very beginning of the process. And when it starts to become obvious, maybe not perfectly, but amazingly, when you start to speak, oftentimes it becomes even more clear. When you're ready, press start. You can see the green button there with the red arrow. You've got your sentence, write it. It's come to you. Here, Betty says, I have to be more sensitive to the fragile nature of human suffering and be open to compassion and forgiveness. So here she has a strategy, a decision, a way of changing attitude and behavior that she feels will benefit her resolution of the current issue. And of course, some of it can be instantaneous as a revelation. Others unfold with determined and sincere effort. At the end, you have your session overview. That's the whole session, at least the key elements listed, as well as the fact that you have access to your insight reinforcements. Those are the sound therapies that were created specifically for you from the dynamic processes in this session with the Emotional Insight app. So that's creative imagery.